Alrighty, good morning guys. So today's concept we're going to learn writing fractions as decimals. Also mainly important is writing repeating decimals as fractions. Writing repeating decimals as fractions. So first of all, what is the repeating decimal means? Like for example, let's take an example. Let's say I want to divide a 1 with the 3. Okay, so when you do this 1 divided by 3, and you guys can say long division. So you can use the long division. So you goes 3 here, then 1 here, and then you're trying to divide it. When you look at it, 1 is smaller than 3. So what you do, 0 point, you add 0. So 3 times 3 is 9, and then remainder is 1. Add 0, 3 times 3 is 9. So if I see that one, it goes on forever. So it's basically 0.3 is repeating. The little line on the top is called repeat. Okay, or some textbooks they say like a bar, 3 bar, but bar sounds doesn't look good, so we can say it repeating. So 3 repeating. So if I say it's backwards, if I look at it, 0.3 bar or the 0.3 repeating is same as a fraction of 1/3. Okay, so now we can see that these repeating decimals can be written as a fractions. So that's the reason these are called rational numbers. Rational numbers. So remember, if the number is repeating, it's always a rational number. It is not irrational. It is rational only. Okay, remember that. It is really important to know that. Okay, so let's move on a little bit. Now, this number is good to go. I really kind of like looked into it. I got the answer. But what if a number is like this? Let's see, get a color. So what if the number is 0.27 repeating? Okay, so we have a 0.27 repeating. What is this means is, let's say this we were converting into fraction. So we want to convert into fraction. So when I want to convert into fraction, basically, so when I look at this one, this, let's say f equal, since it is a fraction. So if I want to write this one, 27, 27, 27, you see 27 is repeating. Makes sense? When this fraction we write it, f means 0.272727. So that is good, but how do I get rid of the repeating stuff? So what I'm going to do, you see this is the repeating is 27, two digits are there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to multiply by 100. Again, it's very important. Under the repeating, I have a 2 digits, like 2 numbers are there. So I'm going to multiply by 100. But under the repeating, if I have only one number, I multiply by 1 or 10. Under the 2, 7, like see under the repeating, you have a 2, 7, 2 numbers, so you multiply by 100. But if it's one number repeating, you multiply by 10. 3 numbers are repeating, you're going to multiply by 1000. Okay, remember that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this fraction by 100. So if I do that, I get 100 times f. It's going to be, I moved decimal 1 2 places. It's going to be 27.272727 and so on. So that is good, but how do I cancel out the repeating? So what I'm going to do, I'll write down the f is one more time here at the bottom. So when I write it down, that's going to be 272727 and repeating like that. So let's subtract these two. So that way I can cancel out the repeating part. So 7, 2, these are all cross out, because basically cross out means 7 minus 7 is 0. Basically, it's a zeros. Okay. And then here, 27 minus 0 is 27. What is 100 minus 1f? or let's say you have 100 of those and take away one from there. So you're gonna get what? Put them in the chat box. It's 99. It's 100 minus 1f, which is 99f. So we can write that 99f equal 27, because I'll cross out, it's decimal. Now if I can divide by 99 on both sides, I can get 27 over 99, because I'm dividing by 99 on both sides. Okay, so I was able to write the repeating of the 27 as the 27 over 99. You guys understand that? So I'm gonna also I'll give you some techniques here. I want you to remember these techniques, and this is gonna help you so much to answer these type of questions. So the technique is right here. Pay attention, everybody, so you don't miss that technique. So the technique is this. So tip, I can call it a tip. If you see that's 27 repeating, right? 0.27 is repeating. Watch this carefully. What do I write it? First step, whatever the number you have, write it down on top on the numerator, 27. And then I see it here. I don't have any number before the repeating number. Okay, so there's no number means you subtract, because let's say I put zeros, no number, and divided by, you see how many numbers under the repeat? There's 1, 2 numbers. So I'm going to write it 2 nines. Okay, for how many digits repeating, that many nines, I'm going to put them on the denominator. So 27 minus 0 is 27, and the 99 goes on the bottom, and that should be my answer. Voila, it's the same answer. You see that? The whole stuff we did to get this, and then with the technique I showed to you guys, that's the answer. It is really important to learn these techniques for the testing, and also when you go to high school, you take the SAT, ACT. These techniques does helps you guys to get the answer faster. Let's try one question similar to this, so you can get a really good idea to apply the techniques to. Okay, guys? Okay, so I hope you guys will try this question. So let's use this one with the technique. I'm not going to do the in the actual method. If you want to do the actual method, you're always welcome to do that. But just you can go back and try that one. But I'm going to do it quick way or tip. So what you do first, I'm going to write down the 4, 7 is under the repeating. So I'm going to write down the 4, 7 minus, I don't see any number in front. I'm going to write it, take away 0 over 9, 9. Why 9, 9? I have 2 numbers under the repeating. So that's going to be a 47 over 99. That is my answer. Okay, so that's how you can solve these type of questions. Let's say, for example, the first one we took when we started that one, right? How about 0.3 bar? Watch this carefully. 0.3 bar, or 3 repeating. If I use the formula here, the technique, watch what happens. So 3 minus 0 over 9, because only one number repeating, so that's what it is. So it's going to be 3 out of 9. Can I reduce 3 out of 9? I think so. So divided by 3, I get 1 over 3. Isn't that we got it too? If you look at it carefully. See? 0.3 repeating is 1/3. It's the same thing. You can use the techniques also. Okay? It is really, really important that you use some techniques up here. So this question is good to go because we have only repeating. That's good. We got it. But what if Mr. C this in this, in case if we have a number like this? So let's say write 0.25 is repeating as a fraction. Okay, because 5 is only repeating. So how do I write this one? So follow the same technique. So what you do, so if I use the technique, this is what you do. So first I'm going to write down the numbers like that is without any repeating, whatever. That's 2, 5, and then minus, which one is not repeating? Non-repeating, you can say. Non-repeating is 2. I'm going to subtract that. over, and then you see this, the repeating has one number underneath. I'm going to write down that. The number is not repeating. I'm going to add a 0 for them. Are you listening carefully? So first I write the number on top, and then whatever is non-repeating, I subtract that. For the repeating, I put a 9. Non-repeating, I put a 0. So the answer is going to be 23 over 90. That's your final answer. So you may say like, oh, this one is a little confusing. I want to do a long way. So yes, welcome to do the long way. But again, it takes time. So if I want to do the same question as a long way, please pay attention here. So let's say for the long process, so let's take that fraction. The fraction is 2,5 repeating. 0.25 is repeating, 5, 5, 5 like that. So since the repeating has one decimal on it, so I'm going to multiply by 10. 10 this. So my decimal will move 1 places. So then I'm going to get 2.555 repeating. And I bring this one back down to cancel out the repeating part. That's going to be a point. Always match the decimals. That is really important. So subtract these two. So if I subtract this, it's going to be 9f equal, I can cross these, I get 3 and then 2.3. Now let's divide by 9 on both sides. Cross out, f equal 2.3 over 9. Okay, and then you can say like, oh, it's not the same answer, but again, it's not completed. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to multiply by 10 on top and bottom. So if I multiply 10 on top and bottom, what I get? So move the decimal in 1 places, that's going to be 23 over 90. So you see I have the same answer. I have the same answer in 1 step, and here is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps. So it's always better to use the techniques, but again, whatever you feel comfortable, is more than happy to use it.